How you doing, everyone? And welcome to this episode of the Isaac Hayes Show, talking about life, talking about liberty, and yes, talking about the pursuit of happiness and showing everyone in the world that Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope everyone's having a good day, a blessed weekend. I say blessed weekend. We're pretty far off. It shows how much I am, unfortunately, out of the loop. I'm pulled all over the place, but look, I'm here today. Thank you, Lord, for allowing me to come and record, and got a lot to talk about. I'm just gonna stay focused on the last couple of days, but with that being said, go check out PrimetimeMediaLA.com. They're always up to date with stuff, ladies and gentlemen. PrimetimeMediaLA.com. Go ahead and check out PrimetimeMediaLA.com. You will not be disappointed. Also, go check out KelbyandJoeSilver.com. Go KelbyandJoeSilver.com if you want to invest in silver. And also, we have another big announcement going to be coming from the Primetime Media family, so stay tuned for that. If you go on PrimetimeMediaLA.com, they're going to show you a screen. It's a free giveaway. Some AirPods and a Yeti cup, I think it is. So go ahead and check that out. Also, put in your email address. It helps us out more than you know. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the world today. I didn't want to start off with that, but it's just fresh in my mind. Rosie O'Donnell says she's leaving the United States. Yay! I'm not like she can move wherever she wants to. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. But she can move wherever she wants to. But her liberal ideology can go with her. And I don't know where she's moving to. She made the announcement where she was moving to. And also another announcement I heard. Dr. Mike's new book is gonna be coming out sometime this week. The Only Way to Save America. Go ahead and check out Dr. Mike at Two Mics Live and the Dr. Michael Swartz Show. Guys, great show. They normally rate us on Wednesday, which I have an announcement, and I want to go ahead and I'm probably gonna wait till the end of it because a lot of the guys that come in from the raid they come in after Dr. Mike, and if we're lucky that Dr. Mike got off right on time, everybody's here right now. And they'll hear it, but I have to make sure. I want to make sure all my audience is going to hear this announcement because it does impact the show and when you can watch me and all that good stuff. And look, I'm gonna say this. You know, Dr. Mike for a while always picked on Jeff Ahern, and Jeff Ahern goes long. We already know Jeff goes long. And Dr. Mike was like, I can't believe I'm starting to feel the same way. I feel how Dr. Mike feels because Dr. Mike is Jeff Aherning me, I guess you could say. But love you, Dr. Mike. He gives me a hard time, so I got to give him a hard time too. You know, I'm still waiting on that invite to write his new book, The Cajun Dictionary. You know, English to Cajun or Cajun to English, so you, my audience, can listen, and well, you, my audience, can understand what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm excited to be here, guys. And look, to start off, I want to go ahead and break down everything that's going on with the government shutdown. Yesterday, there was a bill that was passed in Congress that avoided a government shutdown. Now, it did, you know, they had a lot of threats of it, being, not happening in Congress. But Chip Roy and everybody in the House Freedom Caucus went ahead and voted in line with this. I think the vote was 217, 213, which is on party lines. And I went and watched some of this debate live. Okay, I was headed to an appointment, and I went on my Fox News app for something, and I saw it was live. So I said, hey, I'd like to watch this. And ladies and gentlemen, Chip Roy came on while I was watching, and he made a good point. Do you know that the Democrats, prior to this event of this, this continued resolution, which I'm not for. Okay, I think we should sit down like adults and figure out a government budget. And the reason I say that is because look, in my life, okay, I live on budgets. I try to make sure we don't spend too much. I unfortunately in my life I have experienced bankruptcy because I was young and stupid. And I thought, well, money grows on trees. And we know it's made of wood, money and paper's made of wood and all that stuff. But we just thought, hey, I can just spend credit card and not worry about it. And guess what? It hurt us. Me and my family, we got into a line of debt that just, I couldn't handle it. But the normal everyday American lives on a budget. Dr. Mike, I heard his show a while back, and he talked about the people that write out a check. The government don't know what it is to write out a check. Just give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. And I'm not for a continued resolution, okay? Unfortunately, we're in that state right now. And Donald Trump is telling the American people, look, allow me to have this continued resolution for a little while. And we'll go ahead and we'll fix it. Now, Donald Trump could be truthful in what he's saying. I hope he's truthful in what he's saying. And that he would go ahead and balance out the budget like they did in the 90s. Is it possible? Yes, it is. Will it happen? Most likely not. Because, unfortunately, what I was seeing from the Democrats, and going back to Chip Roy and what he was saying, Chip Roy made a good point. He said, look, these Democrats were all for a continued resolution. That it was okay. This is how normal government works. We just continue resolution and building up more debt and raising the inflation and all this stuff. This was normal according to the Democrats just a few short months ago. But now all of a sudden, they're against this continued resolution. And the things they talk about, okay, the Republicans claim there's no cuts in Medicaid. There's nothing that the Democrats are saying in it. The Democrats are saying there's a cut to Medicaid. And look, Mark Levin did a real good job on his podcast, which was a re-airing of his radio show back on the 10th of this month. And he said it. A lot of people saying he's going to cut Medicaid, but Donald Trump wants to cut the bums that are on Medicaid. Okay, the people that really need Medicaid and the medical card and all this stuff, I'm not against them having that. I'm against people that are able-bodied people that can go to work but choose not to go to work because they're going to lose their Medicaid. And they're living off the system. And look, it's just not everything the Democrats are talking about. Think about it. He wants to cut Medicaid. He wants to cut the welfare. He wants to cut this. He wants to cut. Donald Trump wants to wean off the people that are leeches to the system. You know how many people I know personally, and I disagree with them wholeheartedly? People that will live off the government. People that will have Medicaid and not go to work because they're getting a welfare check, they're getting food stamps, they have Medicaid, and here I am working my fanny off to provide for my family, and these people are leeching off the system. And look, there's some hardworking people that probably could use food stamps. But they don't get it. Oh, you make way too much money. While the guy or the lady that are on the streets get a food stamp card and they have look. I'm trying to remember who it was. It was somebody I know for sure. Went to the store and it was the first of the month and all these people had carts. All of them, and you could tell these people didn't go to work. These people probably stayed at home off of my taxpayer dollars playing Xbox. And it really bugs me when the Democrats he like to cut Medicaid. No, he wants to take people off the system that are leeches and that are abusing our government assistance programs. And I think every American should want that. Every American should want the wasteful spending off of that. Look, this is why Americans are in favor of DOGE. DOGE is exposing so much, and the Democrats are furious at it because it showed that what all these continued resolutions. Also, I forgot the bill that Biden did for bridges, the infrastructure bill, or the Inflation Reduction Act. That really did not bring down inflation. It didn't bring down inflation. But I'm just making this point, guys. The Democrats are crying. There's a reason why they're crying. Oh, this is going to hurt our constituents. Your constituents, the people that vote Democrat, that want to stay on the system. But look, I wasn't planning on going with that. The whole reason I'm bringing this up with this government shutdown thing is because we have been every few months. I've said it a few podcasts ago. Every few months we're talking about a government shutdown, and I'm really getting tired of it. This is why I'm not in favor of continuing resolution. We need to go ahead and get a budget for our federal government. If the people of the United States have to live on a budget, the government should have to live on a budget. But the thing of it is, it has come to a point where the government is so big. Something that our founding fathers did not want, mind you. They did not want a big government. What they wanted was a small government. I was talking about this with our good friend from Primetime Media, Kelby Dago. We were talking about the federal government, and the at the end of the day, is all about the money. But the founding fathers, when we brought this up in our conversation, the founding fathers did not want a big government. The founding fathers are rolling over in their graves today. And this is why we have all the issues with government shutdown, because everybody wants money, and they know if they have to live on a budget, they won't get all that wasteful spending. See, a continued resolution. This is one thing why the Democrats are mad about this continued resolution, because this is a clean continued resolution, which, again, I'm not for it. But the Republicans are trying to give Donald Trump some time. And let's hope they get that time and they fix it. But it's a clean bill. The Democrats don't want it. They want to add pork. They want to add pork to it. And guess what? It's going to hurt our nation. But going back to that, there's this looming government shutdown that is scheduled to happen on Friday. And we are planning to have a show on Friday. Hopefully, everything works out good. We did get a blessing, though, here in the studio. We're getting a new computer. Yes. So I should not, I hopefully would not, I will not have no technical difficulties no more. But technology, you got to love it. But the reason, I'm bringing this up, there's government shutdowns happening, and everybody's blaming everybody. And I just want to ask the question, if you're in the chat, tell me, who do I blame for a government shutdown? Okay? Remember the Biden years. Every time there was talk of a government shutdown, and the Republican Party would say, well, we don't want this extra spending. You would have the Democrats all crying, oh, you want a government shutdown? Oh, you don't want people to have their money. You remember that, guys? The Democrats. Oh, you don't want government to work. Oh, it's a shame. You don't want government to work. Well, Fox News released an article. I think it was the 10th of March. Dems threaten government shutdown over Elon Musk's hate, Republicans say. No. What happened to a government shutdown being bad? Whatever happened to... Again, do we blame the Democrats now? Because look, this bill that passed earlier today, or yesterday, mind you, the bill that passed yesterday afternoon on my way home to take care of some errands, it passed the House. The Republicans are not trying to shut down the government, but now it's about to go to a Senate. And one representative from Oklahoma said it the best way. Now the ball's in your court. Think about this, okay? The Democrats have a shot of filibustering a bill that will fund our government until September. Will they do it? No. They're all going to vote no. This vote, I can predict to you right now. And look, I hope I'm wrong. But this is how the story's going to run, and every mainstream media outlet's going to go ahead and run with this narrative. Oh, it's the Democrats. It's the Republicans' fault. The Democrats were holding on to principle. They didn't want an unelected bureaucrat making policies and spending money, something they have been doing for the last several years. Look, I'm telling you guys, I know the media. I've listened to Rush Limbaugh long enough. May he rest in peace. But I had enough knowledge from Rush to identify what the media is going to do. The media is going to spin this. The Democrats will not be blamed. On the other hand, us conservatives, and I'm going to point to us because this is the new media, podcasting, Rumble, YouTube, the shorts, all this stuff, the TikToks, whatever. This is the new media. This is how people get their information. Us Republicans are going to blame the Democrats. And look, I believe rightfully so. They look, the Republicans are saying, look, we want to fund the government. The senators that are Republicans, we want to fund the government. No, the Democrats are going to try to stop it. And it ain't a simple majority vote. They need, if they filibuster it needs 60 votes. And they do not have 7 Democrats that are going to go ahead and say, yes, we want to keep the government running. They might get John Fetterman. Might. But they're not gonna get 60 votes out of that. And see, I can come on this podcast. I'll probably come on Friday or next week sometime and say, hey, it's the Democrats. They're at fault. They didn't want to fund the government. Now the government's shut down. But left-leaning media are going to go ahead and say, no, it's the Republicans' fault because of Elon Musk. And these Democrats, look, good point on this spending bill. The Democrats were already saying it cut Medicaid, it cut this, it cut that. The bill wasn't even written yet. Also on a point, I heard it from left-leaning media. I think today I heard it. They were talking about how the Republicans had, it was the Democrats on the House floor. The Republicans had 18 months to work with this. I'm like, 18 months? You joking? We had a spending bill in there in December and Elon Musk didn't like it. I didn't like it. I don't think any Republican liked it. Oh, except the Republicans in the House that were promised stuff. I'm not just giving a pass to the Republican Party. That bill back, I think in December, I'm trying to hold my tongue. It was a bunch of baloney. That bill would have hurt us more than any other bill. But you have Democrats, they had 18 months to work with us and they wouldn't work with them. It's the same thing now. The Republicans said, hey, can we get your support? No, you're supporting Elon Musk. Think about this. I'm just saying, this is something that's going through my head, and I'm tired of talking about shutdowns, by the way. I'm just saying, our government is out of control, and you have a whole left-leaning party that is out there. Oh, you don't want to work with us. Y'all didn't want to work with us either. How many times the Democrats have been in power and they tell the Republicans, hey, it's our way or the highway. America voted us in. But now that the Republicans have won, now that we have a Republican Senate and a Republican House and a Republican president, all you hear is the Democrats, hey, you don't want to work with us. The Republicans shouldn't have to work with you. And this is why I say, hey, you need to blame the Democrats. You need to, look, I know all the people that are watching, and if this makes a short clip, I'm going to get all kind of comments on TikTok. No, it's the Republicans. No, it's the Republicans. But now the court's in the Senate's floor. The Democrats have the power not to defund the government. But you see, they think this is going to help. This is going to help them. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. Americans like this bill. Again, I'm not for continued resolutions. But this is one of the most, to my knowledge, this is one of the most cleanest bills. It funds the essentials of the government to keep it open so we can go ahead and work things out. The Democrats don't like it. The Democrats want to fund programs that are gonna keep people in bondage, keep people relying on the government. And our founding fathers didn't want that. Again, this question, who do we blame? Because I'm not going to go ahead and give the Republicans just a quick pass. I'm not. Because you know why we're in a deficit like we are in? It's just not Democrats. Republicans voted for all the continued resolutions before instead of standing on the ground and say, we're not going to go. Look, the Democrats said it right earlier today. Well, yesterday when I was watching the hearings and the debates. One Democrat made the statement, we forced the Republicans to do what we wanted to do. He did not realize what he said. That's the thing. Republicans don't know how to force the Democrats to do what they want to do. I'm just being honest. Republicans need to get a backbone. Republicans need to use the leverage they have. And I understand the argument. Well, Democrats did it first. Now Republicans are doing it and trying to justify it. The Democrats set the standards. Again, I'm hoping this is the last continuing resolution. I hope we pass a bill. I hope Democrats and Republicans work together to balance the budget. But under the current situations we have now, that ain't going to happen. I made a statement the other day. This is not the Democrat Party or the Republican Party of the 80s and the 90s. Ronald Reagan, I forgot the guy's name, had a House Speaker that was a Democrat, and they balanced the budget and got things done. In the 90s, you had Bill Clinton and you had Newt Gingrich. They were a different party, but guess what? They got things done. Now, don't get me wrong, Bill Clinton did something that Joe Biden never did. Excuse me as I get my phone. He did something that Joe Biden never did, and that was to admit, hey, I've been defeated and I need to go work with the other side. I'm making points here. This is not the Republican Party or the Democrat Party of the 80s and 90s. You hear this on both sides. This ain't your grandfather's Republican Party, or this ain't your grandfather's Democrat Party. No, it's not. I agree with both them statements. Because back in the day, they would try to work out a compromise. It's the same thing with the Founding Fathers. Do you honestly think that the Founding Fathers all agreed on everything? No, but they found common ground, and that's where they worked with. That's how the government's supposed to work, by the way. I'm just telling you. Hey, I disagree with this, but I agree with this. Let's put that into the bill. Let's go with it. And that's why this experiment has lasted over almost 250 years. Republicans need to get things done. But Republicans are at fault too. Republicans are at fault because of the mess we're in spending wise. All right, let's move on. Well, we're not going to go with that. I had a political story, but I'm not going to go with that right now. I also want to, while the House is in session and everything like that, I thought this was a real neat story. Found this in my dump truck while loading up some rock. Got this article from Politico. Republicans join to protect workers after DOGE firing. Now, this is from Politico, which is not a right-leaning paper. For all you people out there that say all he reads is Fox News. Republicans join bill to protect workers after DOGE firing. A new bill to address a mass firing of pro-binary federal workers by Elon Musk Department of Government Efficiency is packing up bipartisan support. I want to stop right there for a second because I just noticed that, all right? They were fired by DOGE. No, they were not. DOGE exposed all this stuff. And Donald Trump is firing them. Because you notice how they're putting all this stuff on Elon Musk. Elon Musk is fired. No, DOGE is exposing. Now they might have the power to fire. I don't know, but I think that comes from the president. The president chooses to fire them. He didn't need to fire them, but okay, it goes to the point. If you have a business and it's burning through money, like there's a hole in a sock, you got to take cuts somewhere. But Republicans are gaining behind a bill. The first-term Republican Michael Burlington of Washington and Jeff Hurd of Colorado, and these Washington and Colorado are two left-leaning. And it could be Republican, but they probably got a lot of left inside of them. Signed into legislation that would ensure that recently terminated pro-binary workers could reclaim the seniority they assume in their previous position if later rehired by the government. Now, the whole look. Can I tell you this is how dumb some Republicans are, including the two idiots that are signing on to this legislation? This bill was pushed by a Democrat. By a Democrat. Listen here. So what does that tell you? That means that they're planning on a president of the United States in the future. Hopefully not the next one, but unfortunately there will be a Democrat president sometime down the line. And they're hoping in 2028. I'm going to say this is what the Democrats hoping. Let's get rid of Trump and then we can get our Democrat guy and get all our money back from USAID and all this stuff. But listen to this. They wrote this bill in hopes. This is just my observing everything. I can't think of the word right now. Anyway, the Democrats are trying to put this bill together because they're hoping there's going to be a president that's a Democrat in 2028, and he's going to undo everything Donald Trump did. And these knuckleheads are for this bill that will give pro-binary workers their seniority if they get a job in the future. Again, this is done by a Democrat. The Democrats are already planning to destroy everything Donald Trump did if a Democrat would be elected in 2028. But these baboons, look, I'm sorry. I have to apologize to the baboons because baboons are a lot smarter than these two nuts that are in. Yes. If something happens, Donald Trump, if we get their jobs back, they're going to get their seniority back. Baloney. Hold on, I got some more. Daily Caller released an article on March the 10th. House Republicans lined up to save Biden's legacy climate law. House Republicans are lining up to save one of former President Trump's legacy items from the chopping block as lawmakers look for possible savings to fund President Donald Trump's first-year legislative agenda. 21 Republicans. 21 stupid idiots. Led by New York representatives. Listen to where all this is coming from. New York, Washington, Colorado. This is New York. Andrew Garbono wrote in a joint letter to the House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith Sunday, urging Congress' chief tax writer to preserve hundreds of billions of dollars in green energy tax credits from Biden's Inflation Reduction Act that he has signed into law in August of 2022. The GOP cohort's letter is an indication that GOP leadership may need to look elsewhere to find spending cuts to pay for the president's tax and spending priorities during the budget reconciliation. Okay, I just talked a good 20-some minutes about how Democrats cry. But do you know this is why Democrats get their way? Because of stupid Republicans? And look, the whole center around my thought reading these articles, why are Republicans fighting against one another? You never see this on the Democrat side. I'm just telling you. You never see this on the Democrat side. You never see Democrats fight with Democrats. Never. If it happens, it's rare. It's like me going down into the bayou right here and catching a catfish, and the catfish has a gold bar in his mouth. The only time that has happened that a fish had money in his mouth was with Jesus. Remember the story with Peter? Peter couldn't pay his taxes. Jesus told him, go fishing. The first one you get, you can have enough taxes. I don't know how much money was in the fish's mouth, but I'm just saying, that's rare. You never see Democrats do this. You never see Democrats go against other Democrats. But Republicans, you know how many times I've come over this microphone over the last 4 years of doing this podcast and had to complain about Republicans dogging other Republicans and going against Republicans and fighting amongst themselves? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I cannot believe that you have Republicans. And look, not just a difference of opinion on something that Republicans believe. No, they want to go ahead and give pro-binary workers their jobs back in case Donald Trump, Republican loses in 2028. That is a Democrat thought that's Democrat policies that Republicans are signing on to. This climate law, which the Inflation Reduction Act that did not bring down the inflation in August of 2022. But you have Republicans, well, we need to go ahead and take the environment. Look, you can give trillions and trillions of dollars to research the environment. I promise you, if the world's gonna blow up, or the world's gonna burn up, or the world's gonna flood, Mother Nature's gonna do it. Trillions and trillions of dollars will not stop that. You turning to EVs will not stop that. Again, you want to mark out a rhino? Look where they're from. Washington, Colorado, New York, California. Oh, but we're conservative. You're only conservative because you're in the face of the camera. You're not a conservative. You're not a financial conservative. And why are Republicans fighting one another? Because these ain't real Republicans. You know why all those Republicans are lining up with Trump in the House right now for the reconciliation bill? It's not because they believe in it. They know if they don't vote with it, Donald Trump's going to call them out and they're not going to win election in 2026. Can I just be honest with you guys? You know how many stories that I have read and I have heard of people talking to congressmen or congresswomen, and they say, we really don't believe that way, but our constituents believe that way, so I have to vote that way. Which is right. We voted you to represent us, but the thing of it is, all you do, a cushy job. And this is why I call for term limits. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but I'm just saying. Term limits need to happen. You have all these people, well, we don't want to lose our position. That's why we don't vote that way, to show our true colors. Because you like your cushy job in the federal government. Would you like, audience, if you had free health care for the rest of your life and get a pension after you leave and also have all kind of insider information to add to the stock market like well-known politicians have done in the past and in the present? I would want to keep that job too. But when Republicans do stuff like this, the story I quoted from Politico and the story I quoted from the Daily Caller, when they do stuff like this, we need to call them out. I don't have all the list of these Republicans that done this. But you at home, you need to pay attention. These people are doing this. These people are making decisions that are not beneficial to you. The Green New Deal is not a good bill. It limits people. It takes people's rights away. But you have 21 Republicans. Oh, we need to keep that part of the bill. Oh, And then want to give people back their jobs after they're fired because it was a wasteful spent. These people weren't doing nothing but just sitting down watching YouTube. Come on, people. And again, these are Republicans. Look, and I'm tired. Okay, I'm a registered Republican. All right, I like voting in the primaries, and I mainly vote Republican. So. But when Republicans do this, I'm getting tired of that. It's just, look, that's a whole, I'm going to bring on that point too. I don't know why I feel led to go this way. Republicans are not the solutions to all our problems. I'm just being honest with you. I'm tired of hearing people, oh, Republicans. Republicans are not the solution to all your problems. I can hear you Democrat left-leaning people. Yeah. No, I'm going to say the same thing about you. Democrats are not they don't solve no problems. They're not the solution to all the problems. We need to stop worrying about Democrat and Republican, and we need to start calling out what's right and what's wrong. This is why I don't, if I see a bad story or have a bad feeling about a Republican, this is why I come on this podcast and I bring it out to you guys. We need to stop worrying about Democrat and Republicans. Guess what? This was all caused by Democrats and Republicans. People that are hungry for power. And look, I'm not saying all of them are bad. I'm not saying that. But come on. Look, I'm gonna quote Chip Roy. I like Chip Roy. But Chip Roy, under the Biden administration, said no new funds, let's cut this, let's cut that. Guess who's voting for the continued resolution last night? I'm just making the point. Again, going to that, every continued resolution, well, a lot of Republicans did not vote for it under the Biden administration. Guess what? They voted all for it yesterday. Republicans and Democrats have led us into this issue. But I'm just not going to sit down here and keep my mouth shut about Republicans and just bash the Democrats because they're not all at fault. They have majority of the fault. I will give you that. But they're not all at fault. And we need to start saying what's right and what's wrong. And at the end of the day, stop putting faith and trust in a freaking man or a freaking politician or a freaking political party. We need to stop. We need to have our priorities right. You know what? They made this country great back in the day? The politicians didn't tell people, hey, look at me. They said, look at God. Uh-oh, I'm getting the preacher on me now. Politicians back in the day, they said, look, don't put your faith and trust in us. You see this from their writings. Politicians today, I can fix this. Go listen. Look, even with Donald Trump, okay? Go look at his presidential campaign. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix that. I. And guess what? And look, don't get me wrong. He has done a lot. But you pointing to yourself and saying, you're going to be saying, I. I'm just saying, you. And look, I hope I'm not offending people in the chat today. I hope I'm not. But I think it needs to be said. We do not need to trust in man. We need to trust in God. Man's gonna fail you. God will never fail you. I'm just because look, I get. Oh, you're bashing Republicans. I get those comments from fellow Republicans, and I understand that's your political party. But see, me, I don't align with a political party. I align with Jesus. All right. With that out the way, let's get to the next story. Mark Carney wins Liberal Party's nomination to replace Justin Trudeau as Canada's next Prime Minister. So Justin Trudeau did announce he wanted to step down from his Liberal Party, and he also wanted to step down from being the Prime Minister, which is all cool. Okay, look, I don't mind. The issue with it is the Liberal Party from the last election, and I did some research, and for Two Mics Live, Giuseppe lives in Canada. I need to get Giuseppe, if you're listening, I would like to get you on the show and talk about how y'all elections work. Because they have one election, and you stay in the power, and until the Prime Minister says I'm done, or they call Parliament out of session, you can't have another election. This is why Justin Trudeau has been the Prime Minister for the last 14 years. And this is why it's in the mess it is now. So Mark Carney wins the Liberal Party nomination. Guess how many votes he got? He got 131,764 votes out of the 151,899 votes cast. I don't know. Let's see. I just want to make sure before I say it. Let's see. Yeah, this will work right here. The population of Canada. Let's go look at that. Okay, Canada has 40.1 million people as of 2023. So 2 years have passed. They probably some people probably have babies. I hope in Canada. But anyway, 131,764 people voted for this man to become the prime minister, while there's 40 million people in Canada. Maybe less than 1% of the population of Canada, well, way less than 1% of the population of Canada, voted for a new one political party. Boy, the left would love that system here. Joe Biden, I resign. And the Democrat National Convention would come around and they say, hey, we put Kamala Harris. She's the new president of the United States. And we won't have an election until Congress goes into recess. The Democrats will love that. Just think about this: 131,000 people. I'm rounding it off. It would be really 132,000 people voted for a new prime minister in a country that has 40 million citizens. And they call our elections funny. But this guy he was the former Bank of Canada governor. Trudeau wanted him in his cabinet after the finance person of his cabinet left abruptly because they disagreed. And now he ran for this. Now he's the prime minister. And they're in session. Now, according to this article from Fox News, they're doing a transfer of power now. Trudeau is leaving and he's coming in, and it's a skeleton crew that he's getting, a skeleton administration that is coming on in. And look, he don't like Trump. Comments he made, the United States, Canada will never be the United States. He said Donald Trump thinks he can weaken us with his plan to divide and conquer. Conservative official opponent leader Perel plan will leave us divided and ready to be conquered. Okay, he made a comment saying that Canada will never ever be part of America in any way, shape, or form. He does not like Trump. He's also said that he will keep the tariffs that he has put on the United States until America learns his lesson. He issued a statement. He said Canada will not bow down to a bully. We won't stand by as illegal U.S. tariffs hurt our workers and their families. Wait a minute. I thought it was only supposed to hurt Americans. Think about this, okay? Tariffs are only going to hurt Americans. This is something I've been bringing out a long time. If tariffs don't work, why are other countries fearing the tariffs that we put on them? Just making that point. So he said, as Canada, we need to face this challenge as one united team. The problem is the Liberal Party for the last 14 years have not helped Canada. Okay, now, why do I bring that up? Because he did say that he was going to leave tariffs. They even had Canada threatening to turn off electricity in Michigan and other parts of the country. They backed down from that quick when Donald Trump said, hey, stop, or we're going to do this, this, and this. Oh, Canada, we came to the light. But with that being said, this was announced yesterday on the 11th, that Donald Trump, this is from the Daily Caller, announced fury of additional tariffs on Canada. This is an additional 25% on their steel and aluminum. Donald Trump said if Canada don't drop this anti-American pharma tariff of 250% to 390% on various U.S. dairy products, he's going after the cards. Now, look, let's think about this for a second, okay? 250% to 390%. If that's true, this is Donald Trump making a statement. If that is true, and Canada is charging us that, or putting that on us, why aren't we matching it? Donald Trump brought this point out in the State of the Union. I think I brought it out in my recap last week when the last time I think we recorded, how Donald Trump Yes, Donald Trump said that. Look, if Canada has a 25% tariffs on us, we need to put 25% tariffs on them. Let's have an even feel. But it's kind of funny. America got to be the hey, you got to be the good boy. You got to be the one that's fair and balanced. Don't put too much tariffs while we take all your money. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the point I'm coming to right here. Okay, now this guy in Canada, we will leave tariffs on America. Okay, if you can do it, but you're gonna lose more car companies. You're gonna lose more corporate people. You're gonna lose a lot of your manufacturing because it's already happening. A lot of these people are planning productions in the United States so they don't have to pay a tariff. So Canada, you're going to be the one that's going to be messed up. But this individual that is coming into power apparently don't understand. Yeah, he's probably a good financial guru, maybe, I don't know. But he's about to be prime minister of a country that nobody voted for. By the way, I'm just saying, 130 some thousand people voted for him. Now he's saying he's going to close parliament and have an election. I want to see if he does that, because if he likes that power he has, he's going to keep pushing and pushing. Because the election was supposed to happen in October for Canada. Now they're trying to push it for late April, early March. Meaning, and look, this benefits the Liberal Party. Now I think they have their candidate all ready to go, but this would help the Liberal Party out because they're not running Justin Trudeau, who has a bad record, and it don't give time for the candidate to build for people to know in Canada who the Conservative Party leader is. Does that remind you of something? Look, it benefited us in the Conservative Party, Kamala Harris. In June, Biden flopped on the debate stage. By July, Kamala Harris is running. She ran in November, and she had a short couple of months, I think 4 months, and nobody knew who she was. Well, they knew who she was, but they didn't realize how bad she was until she started running. And short elections are not beneficial to the opposite party. And look, Donald Trump was not the president, but at the same time, Donald Trump was running for president for 2 years prior to the election. But yeah, Canada got a new prime minister, and I know the tariffs, and I brought that all up and everything, but this man is a prime minister now. Didn't even get a vote from his citizens, just from his party. And they say Canada's a democracy. If I was Canada, I would want to become the 51st state. At least you wouldn't have this problem. Somebody said cut it in the middle so you have left and right. Because it's funny, the right side of Canada is more conservative than the left side of Canada. No joke. I heard it. All right, let's move on. X rocks by major outage. Elon Musk says cyber attack to blame. It's from the Daily Wire. X went down for a little while on March 10th, and DOGE designer said first protests against those, then Tesla stores were attacked. Now X is down. I wouldn't rule out possibility that this downtime is the result of an attack on X. Could be possible. And look, I think Facebook a while back, I was trying to get in my Facebook page and Facebook wouldn't work. If you listen to Rumble, sometimes Rumble don't work correctly. Sometimes you have a bad day on the social media game. But it is kind of funny that they're going after Elon Musk, and Elon Musk X goes down. So, but that happened. This is a major story, broke on Tuesday, March 11. Ukraine accepts deal, says Rubio will take this to Russia. Now, so we haven't had any word at the time of this recording. Maybe by the time this comes out, there might be some more news on it. But Ukraine on Tuesday accepted a deal put forward by the Trump administration during a meeting in Saudi Arabia, a significant step forward in securing a ceasefire agreement and bringing an end to the war with Russia. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said, we'll take this offer now to Russia, and we hope that they will say yes. And I hope so. Because we got word that Donald Trump said you can't come back until you want to go ahead, until you until you apologize and until you're ready to talk about peace. He has sent a letter saying he's ready to talk about peace. He also sent a letter to Donald Trump apologizing for what happened in the Oval Office. And all you people that were out there that were saying that this look bad for America, it came out in our benefit because it showed great leadership. But that there is some cost to the ceasefire. America will continue its aid and military support, I believe, in this agreement if Putin and Russia says they will go ahead and do it. But going back to that, Donald Trump. Today is March 12th. March 12th. And Donald Trump, within 3 months of him, not even being 3 months, I think it's 50 days, of him being the president of the United States, brokered a ceasefire deal. Something that took Biden almost 3 years to not do. Biden was president for 3 years with the Ukrainian and Russian war, and he could not broker a deal. This is on his long list of things he left office without doing, like freeing prisoners from Russia and no ceasefire. And I'm just, there's a long list of things that Biden has not done, that could not get stuff done that Donald Trump has done. This deal is significant because it's showing that there's finally peace that's coming. But Biden couldn't do that. Now, why couldn't Biden do that? Well, probably because he didn't want to. Again, I have my reasons. I think Zelensky wants to go ahead and he was trying to fill his pockets full of money, and he thought he could override Donald Trump like he did Biden. I don't know why he thought that. He already dealt with Donald Trump before, and Donald Trump put him in his place in the Oval Office. And he realized, I don't have a hand to play. Donald Trump was right. The cards are on the table and you don't have none. We're giving you cards under the table so you could survive. This is significant. Now look for the people of Kyiv and the people of Ukraine, I do have pity on you. Because we don't want a war in our country. And you hear stories of the hell that people are going through over there. And I pray for you guys. And look, Ukraine should get all their land back. United States needs to make, and their peace talks say, look, you need to go back to Russia, give them all their borders. I doubt that happens, but it needs to be done. Look, I got a good friend online, has been on this show multiple times. Me and him disagree with a lot going on right now. But I do agree with him. Ukraine should get their land back, but at what cost? The bloodshed has been going on for almost 3 years with this war. If not 3 years. It's time for peace. And now we got a deal. This is big news. It needs to get done. And guess what? We need to stop. Look, now America can get their raw materials. We won't have to pay that much. We will have an interest now in Ukraine. And Russia might think twice now. Because if they go after Ukraine and they go after our interests, America might step in. I'm going to tell you this one thing, though. One benefit for the whole world, it showed how weak Russia was. Russia should have took over Ukraine like that, in my humble opinion. And look, thanks with America and other European allies, things got done. Things got done, and guess what? They stopped Russia. I don't think Russia's as strong as people think they are. Now, do they have nuclear powers? Their nuclear power? Absolutely. We don't need to take them lightly. But we have a little bit more insight into war. Look, this ain't the Soviet Union from back in the 70s. And like I said, I'm just saying, don't take Russia lightly. At the same time, they didn't do too well in this war. They lost a lot of people. All right, let's talk about Mohammed Khalid. So this story broke a couple of days ago, and President Donald Trump announced on Monday that the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency arrested an anti-Israel activist, Mohammed Khalil, we'll say that, and cautioned that other terrorist sympathizers will meet a similar fate. Now, this guy had a green card. He was a former student. I'm going to say that lightly and say that like Mark Levin said. I heard his podcast today, and I never heard of this, and it shines some light onto it. This man was a former student at Columbia. A lot of people say he was a student at Columbia. No, he was a former student. Remember all that stuff that happened a while back at Columbia University where students, Jewish students, were locked in a library and they were threatened for their life? Yeah, this guy was in the center of it. And he went ahead. He's Palestinian. He was raised in Syria, and he's a permanent U.S. resident, but he has a green card. So I don't even know how to do it. But Donald Trump, well, the ICE, Immigration and Custom Enforcement went ahead and picked him up. They revoked his. They told him his green card was revoked and his student visa. And this is according to his attorney, Amy Greer. The Department of Homeland Security said in the expose that conducted the arrest to protect you. They conducted the arrest to protect U.S. national security and claimed that Khalid led active alliance to Hamas and designated terrorist organization. If true, they had every right to arrest him. Even citizens of America will get arrested for that because you're dealing with Americans' enemy, America's enemies. Now, this is the whole issue that's going on with this. People, even some libertarians, are defending this man. He had every right to go ahead and protest and voice his opinion. He does have rights to voice his opinion. He does have the freedom of speech. But when that freedom of speech turns to unlawful actions, that's where it gets to the issue. See, the issue that this individual, without look, just saying with him hating Israel and him helping him endorsing Hamas and all this stuff. Okay, we can give him that. You know that's bad. But Colombia, if you remember the incident, it was terrible. They were burning stuff. They were tearing things up. I think they went in the library trying to break down doors. This man should have been arrested, but no, he was given a slap on the wrist. And Democrats and some libertarians are saying, well, oh, we shouldn't arrest him. He was just executing his First Amendment right. No. It's funny, okay? We say when you have the right to say, hey, you believe a certain way, but when it turns into unlawful action, you should be punished. Democrats tell us you can't scream fire in a crowded theater. That ain't free. They talk about our free speech, but when it comes to a man that's pro Hamas, pro terrorist organizations, anti-Israel, not even a citizen of the United States, does this, oh, he had the First Amendment right. What happened to your don't scream fire in a crowded building situation happened? Again, according to Fox News, he played a major role in protests against Israel at Columbia and met with university officials on behalf of Columbia University, diversity groups to discuss the diverse from Israel. And this was according to CNN. The main goal is to challenge the settlers' colony violence that Israel, the war in Israel and all that stuff. But it's just funny, okay? I just thought it was funny. A man that's not even a citizen of the United States. Democrats are rushing to his arm, but rushing to his aid. Somebody that does not agree with Israel running to his aid. Somebody that supports Hamas, openly supports Hamas and terrorist organizations running right to his aid because he had free speech. But the next time the Republicans say something, they say, you can't say that. We need to censor that. We need to bring up this incident. And look, this guy is not a nice guy, okay? Look, I understand he has a wife and a kid. I'm sorry. But you broke the law. You broke the law. And again, everybody's talking about his free speech. Okay, I understand you can say he has free speech or whatever. But the issue with it is, if he was helping Hamas and terrorist organizations, again, like I said, if you're a U.S. citizen, you do that, you're going to jail. So we're gonna hear more about this story because the Democrats are all up in arms. But it just shows the Democrats are going to go ahead and take up for people that are not part of our country, or not citizens of our country, and the ones that are lawful, the ones that are not lawful, the ones that are lawless, they're going to go ahead and take care of. With that being said, that's going to wrap up this episode of the Isaac Hayes Show. But before I leave, I do want to make a quick announcement. Friday will be my last show for the 10 o'clock hour. The reason being, I'm changing times. And the reason I'm changing times are, um, I have a lot going on, and I looked at my schedule, and I'm doing some research and all that stuff. I'm probably gonna go. I'm gonna release a show on Sunday night and on Wednesday night, probably around the 6 o'clock. No, the 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. If I release a video and some breaking news happen, I will cover it on the next episode. Uh, but this is helping me out because, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. To do this show, um, I had to wake up 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I did it for a while. But my work schedule really got hectic, and it's hard to wake up that early when you have to be at work for 6:30 in the morning. At the time of this recording, it's going to be released on March the 12th. I am recording it the night before, and I have a lot of stuff to do. Look, I had an appointment at 5 o'clock. Didn't get out of that appointment till 7 o'clock. Got home, said hey to the kids, kissed the wife, and told her, hey, I gotta go to the studio. And right now, this schedule will work better for me if I go ahead and do this. And this is one of the reasons why I have not been getting episodes out. So I am changing the times. We thought about doing Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, opposite of Two Mics Live, to give you guys a whole week of content that you can watch at night. And it might, I might look at this and I'll say, hey, it's not working. We're gonna go to that time, but I think it would be better for me if we do this, and it's gonna be at night as well. We probably get, we get rated by some more people. Wendy, I've talked to Wendy, and Wendy has been a big help in this decision making the time because I wanted to do it a separate time, and Wendy has advised me to do it another time, and I'm taking that advice from her. And look, shout out to Wendy, great moderator. She does so much for our community here. She doesn't just do this show; she does several other shows. I got to give a shout out to Miss Wendy, and doing a real good job at it too. I know my show ain't the biggest show here on Rumble or in any other platform, but let's pray that change. Maybe one day God would open the doors. But so we're gonna go to two shows a week, and it's gonna be on Sunday nights, the 5 o'clock hour of Central Standard Time, and it's also gonna be Wednesday Central Standard Time, 5 o'clock p.m. And I hope you guys understand. I hope you guys understand. I hope when I'm reading this that I see you guys, you're saying yes, we understand. I love every single one of you guys. I have gotten a relationship with the boat, with definitely not Karen, Wendy. Met some new people that are about to move to Lafayette, and we're gonna hang out. Uh, I think something Gator. I can't remember all of it. Gator, not something. I forgot what. You know who you are. You know who you are in the Rumble chat. But this was a very difficult decision because I like the times I'm at, but it did get hard. And maybe on Sunday nights I'll be able to go ahead and do a live stream. That's something I love doing live content, and that might be and that 5 o'clock to some hour we do have prayer, and we'll see. I'll pray about it, but like I said, guys, I hope you understand. But this is why I wanted to wait until the end of the show to say this. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Again, I know this said this at the end of the show, but I forgot I had this announcement. Uh, but yeah, this new adventure and this new time. This ain't the first time I had to change my time for the show to fit my busy schedule. And also on another point too, I do want to make that point out as well. I don't get paid for this. This is why I say, hey, if you can support us, go ahead and support us. But I don't get paid for this, unfortunately. And if I did, I'll be on, right before Two Mics Live or something like that, and I'll be hanging out with you guys. But work schedules, it's just tight, and ministry schedule is tight. So this is the times that I'm gonna go ahead and work it out. So guys, Sunday nights, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and also on Wednesday nights, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, we'll be rating either Amber May or we'll be rating Two Mics Live. So again, this was a tough decision, but again, I want to thank Wendy for helping me out as well. We discussed it, and I feel that's the best times to go with. So I'll see you then. But this Friday, 10 o'clock, will be my last show at 10 o'clock. and probably my last show on a Friday for a while. But I need you to do me a favor. Go check out the TikTok. We're about to start dropping all kind of TikTok content for that for brothers just searching. And go check out primetimemediala.com. Enter in that giveaway. Enter into email. With that being said, we will raid Handy News. If Handy's in the chat, I doubt he is. He's probably already live because I'm going over my time. But love you guys. Y'all be safe. Y'all be encouraged. You be blessed. Let the Lord lead you and guide you. And if you can, go to church tonight. It's Wednesday night. Go to church or check out our live stream, New Beginning Fellowship Church, and you'll see me doing announcements. So we love you guys. You be blessed. You be encouraged. We'll see you next time here on the show. You have a good one.